Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. What up, ladies and gentlemen? You guys are tuned into the Madden Underground podcast. Um, it's actually May 19th, 2021. And,
Indeed.
we've been almost doing this for, I think, about, since November, January? So been going pretty well so far. So, we can continue to keep this thing going, keep the viewership growing, and see how it pans out. But we got a great show for you guys today. We got a lot of things to talk about. I got my guy Snipes in the building, Philly guy in the building, and B guard is missing because something
Got
happened with
punched
his.
in the eye.
He got punched in the face, or his eye is
Yeah.
hurting. Something happened to his eyeball, so he may have been gouged. Somebody may have given the 2-finger twist. You know, may have been something of the sort. But we got a lot of things to talk about. The Madden cover leaked. I don't know if you guys are privy to that, but
Now, who was it? Who was on there? It's probably
saying
somebody whack.
They're
Probably
saying it's
somebody
Derrick
whack.
Henry.
Who?
okay. Well, I have a slight excerpt of what may have leaked, and I'm gonna tell you where this may have come from, where people may have been getting the idea of this possibly happening from. If you go to GameStop and they have a list of releases, and in that folder of releases, there are images of certain game titles and the release date, expected release date. This is a picture directly from that folder for Madden 22, and the to be determined release date is listed on it as well. But this is where people are getting that idea from, that it may be Derrick King Henry.
Yep.
Did you have anything to do with that?
Nah, actually had nothing to do with that. I wish I did. I think it's a beautiful thing. He'll be the third Titan to grace the Madden cover. We had Eddie George, we had Vince Young, and now if it's official, if he becomes official, once they officially announce it, he'll be the third Titan. And I have no problems with that. I'm actually all on for Titans being part of, the growth system, what's expected and things like that. So, I'm all for it. How do you guys feel about it?
Hey. Yeah, I mean, it's well deserved, man. The man over 2,000 yards. I mean, you know what I mean? The only thing I hope that doesn't happen to him is a whole curse thing. You know what I'm saying? But I think that kind of been debunked already.
Yeah.
The past few covers. So I think that's debunked. That's done. But if it is him, man, congrats to him, man. They definitely support any big back that has done what he's done. There's not a lot of backs that's done what he's done, so he is well deserved, no doubt.
True indeed. In other news, man, Julio Jones. Julio Jones is been in a lot of trade rumors lately, and I don't understand it. He's, to me, still one of the most elite receivers in the game. He's still a top tier receiver in my opinion, but
I don't
seems
get
to
it.
be the in a lot of different trade talks. How do you feel about the Julio Jones trade rumors?
Philly, you go first on this one.
Well, I mean, look, I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. If you're gonna trade him, you got to trade him when he has some value. And I'll say this: I hope that he goes somewhere where he can have an impact. I hope that the Green Bay Packers decide to trade for this man, and Aaron Rodgers comes back, and you got Devontae Adams and Julio Jones. Because then I don't see any reason why the Packers shouldn't win the Super Bowl. I mean, there's no excuses at that point. So if you're that team that needs somebody like Julio to be that difference maker and take you over the top, this is a great opportunity. If you're the Falcons, you're starting your rebuild. You're starting your rebuild, and you move Julio now. But I like Julio a lot. So I just hope that he ends up somewhere. I hope somebody trades for him, and we get a chance to enjoy watching them play this season.
Definitely.
I,
What about you, Snipes?
bro, I just don't.
Bama for
I
life.
don't
What's
like
up, bro?
it at all. I don't like it at all, man. I don't like it at all. I think that I think you know what I take it to where, like, for example, like out here in Arizona, you got a guy here by the name of Larry Fitzgerald. All right, he's done wonders for your team. He's never won a bowl or anything like that, and I think that's a guy that deserves to have a bowl. There's no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that a guy like Julio Jones, who is still, to me, he's still in his prime. You know what I mean? He's still out there, doing things that no other wide receiver could do. And he's doing it constantly. Whether injured, partially injured, whatever it may be, he's still doing it. And you went and got a weapon by the name of Kyle Pitts. So you're telling me you're not willing, at least for 1 year, to try Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, and Julio Jones? Are you really not willing to try that? You're really gonna entertain the fact of getting rid of this guy when you could give that a shot for this season and possibly, to be honest with you, now there's no Drew Brees anymore. Mm-hmm. You could take the South. You could take the South. That's the way I see it. I see that you're taking away from your opportunity to get to the playoffs if you get rid of Julio Jones at this point. That's my opinion on it.
Okay. Me personally, I think it's stupid, and especially since they're talking to the Colts about trading him to the Colts. If he's coming to the Titans, I would be a little bit more objective towards it. But the fact that he's going to the Colts, he might be going to the. I'm not gonna say going to the Colts, but that's the leading team, the front runner for the trade is the Colts. So if that happens, I would be extremely pissed off. That would just, I don't know. That would be a nightmare, in my opinion. With Wentz, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., and you had Julio. That's a problem, especially with that defense and that O-line in front of them. So that would be a huge problem, in my opinion.
There'll be a front runner for the AFC South, no doubt.
Definitely. So I posted some things in the Pro League, the Sim League groups, and things like that we were actually doing player evaluations this year. And congrats to Dimes, who'll be dropping in soon. He'll be dropping in at the 30-minute mark. But congrats to Dimes on winning the Season 5 Super Bowl. I can give him his score. His score is probably 100 because he scored basically perfect in all categories this year. So he's probably one of the few players that have 100 score across the board. I think he's actually he's one of two players. So, but yeah. So I want to let the people know, let the league members know what categories you guys were graded on, and how these grades came about when you get your score. Because we'll be contacting you all individually, all the league members, letting you know what your grade was for the year. That's if you played in the Sim League, that's for all 4 seasons. If you played in the Pro League, that's for all 5 seasons. And we graded you per season, and and gave you a score for all the completion of the year. So that's what we did. Next year it'll probably be a season by season evaluation and things like that. Hey, shout out to Elite CFM. But we wanted to make sure that we gave you guys a fair evaluation in regards to letting you know what league you may best be suited for going into Madden 22. Some guys, they were in the Pro League, and these grades say that you may not have been the best fit for some of these leagues. So we want to make sure we let everybody know what we graded you guys based on. So we graded you guys based on the ability to stream, league activity, your ability to communicate with your opponents. That's basically scheduling your games. Were you a person that consistently had issues scheduling your games? Were you a person that had scheduling conflicts consistently and you weren't able to make sure your games were played in a timely manner? Or you were somebody that was constantly, hard to get in touch with, So that's the communication aspect. The activity is are you active in a group? Are you communicating? Are you participating? Are you playing your games? Do you play majority of your games? Are you a person that misses a lot of games? And things like that. Then we have the skill set, which is basically, are you competitive? Are you somebody that competes on a regular basis? are you a person that's ducking? Are you a person that's not really you see somebody in your schedule and you don't want to play and things like that. So that comes down to the skill set. Are you consistently competitive? Are you getting blown out every week? Are you giving up XP? Like, cause you giving up 1,000 points a game, then you're basically giving somebody a lot of XP every week. So that's what we graded you on skill. Are you a playoff contender? You know, did you make the playoffs at any point in any of the seasons this year? So that you were graded on that. You were graded on X factor ability. Do you bring something dynamically to the league that most people just don't have? And we also have graded people on the ability to finish the league. So did you start at the beginning and play all the way to the end, or did you start and then you dropped off season 2, season 3? I got 40. We had a list of 43 guys. I think it was actually 44 guys that were in the league and out of the league at some point in time. So everybody that was ever in the league at this point in time, at any point in time in the year, you got a grade based on your time with the league. So if you got a bad grade, you like, well, I was only in for a year. That's all we had to evaluate you on, and you may not have gotten the best grade on that based on that evaluation. So when we have certain leagues for 22, you may not qualify. Now, and then what makes it even worse too is that your score, if the game happens to be cross-platform by some chance, that means that your grade will be going up against the guys that are also in PS4 or PS5. You know, so that's something that you know that that's something that you all need to factor in. Do everybody on the stream? Why it gotta be? Do everybody on what? Why it gotta be private? No, I do. No, I keep everything quiet, confidential. So you know, some people are good with getting good news, and some people aren't good with getting bad news. So my thing is that if you got a good grade, we're gonna contact you individually and let you know. And like I said, it's a scale system. So basically, some people landed in the 90 percentile, the 95 percentile, the 80 percentile, the 80 to 85 percentile. And some people landed in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. So those guys, I'll be contacting you guys this week and letting you know what the options are moving forward and what you need to do to make sure that you bring your best foot forward and how you can maybe improve that grade prior to the league starting for Madden 22. You guys,
I'll add something to that real quick. You know, for what Jason Hall has said in the chat there. B James just trying to keep it as professional as possible. You know, we're not in the, you know, none of us here in the business of airing dirty laundry.
Yeah, trying to humiliate somebody.
You know what I mean?
So
So at the end of the day, that's what it is. We just don't get involved with all of that. B James took a lot of time to do the evaluation and everything else. So, you know, when he does that and he talks about he has to do something privately and get in contact with you privately, it's just to keep everything on a professional level. You know what I'm saying? That's basically in a nutshell what it is.
So again, you're graded based on your ability to stream. If you were active, so the guys that were sometimey, you might have been deemed in that category. If you lack communication, B-Guard got the shades on. So yeah, if you lack communication, that may be an area that you know you might get deemed in. If in the skill department, if you played your games, you basically got a solid skill grade. You know, as long as you wasn't just getting blown. If you were getting blown out every week and it's like, yo, this guy may not be a good fit, then that's something different. If you were giving up tons of points every week, because at some point in time, there's gonna be a game where you give up a ton of points. You just can't help it. But if you were consistently giving up tons and tons and tons of points, then, you know, a pro league, there has to be a criteria because we want to have the best of the best in the league and make sure, you know, dudes are bringing the A game consistently and showing up and playing consistently. And that's the main thing, is showing up and playing. And then did you make the playoffs? How many times did you make the playoffs? If you made the playoffs once, then you basically got a solid score in the playoff for the playoff grade. The X Factor, like I said, those are the people that either played in the Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl. They got that X Factor grade. And and the finishing grades. Did you finish the league? Did you complete? Did you play in the league or participate in the league in its entirety from season 1 to its completion? So those are the things that everybody was graded on. And like I said, I've given some people their scores already. Some people got their scores. If you keep them to yourself until we announce that we gave everybody their scores. But and then later on this week, at some point in time this week, we'll be inviting you to another group to join to let you know, so you'll be privy to everything prior to the public in regards to league information and things like that for Madden 22 and things like that. So just to keep that in mind, if you guys didn't like your score, we'll present a couple opportunities for you guys to improve your scores, and we'll announce that next week on the podcast. But I want to make sure we get everybody their scores this week. So with that being said, I wish you all best of luck, and I hope you guys nobody lose their mind or cuss me out over a score. But it's all you're doing, and we have the documents and documentation to prove how many games you missed, how many sims you gave up. You know, we have all this stuff documented, so it's kind of like your own paper trail. You everything you see will be based on your own doing. So it's nothing that we did to kind of try to sabotage you in any kind of way. We just want to make sure that we ensure we put the league in a position that everybody participating is putting their best foot forward. And when you got guys making the playoffs that shouldn't make the playoffs, or you got guys, that getting wins that probably shouldn't have gotten a win, or dudes quitting at the end of the year because they don't feel like they're in competition anymore, they can compete anymore and things like that, then that's, you got to get dinged for that. You got dinged for that. So that's just what it is. But we got a lot more news for you guys, so we're going to get into that too. So make sure you guys stay tuned and keep it locked right here. But I want to also talk about, let's transition into 2K. 2K actually had a football game that they were going to release this year. Next year. In 2022, I guess, allegedly. And then I guess they announced that they're going to push it back a day or a year or so or whatever because of, I don't know what the reason is. But have you heard anything about that, Snipes?
I've not heard anything about it. I heard some rumors a while back about it, but it was just a rumor, so I didn't think nothing of it. But I guess you must have heard something officially in regards to it.
Well, I have actual release date schedule right here. It has like a few games and the release dates that they have. So we have Grand Theft Auto that's dropping November 11th, 2021. The Grand Theft Auto Online standalone will be November 11th, 2021 as well. So the online play will be available when the game releases. I don't know what this Oli World is. Don't really care. The Outer Worlds of, I don't know what that is. Don't care. But NBA 2K22 is to be announced, but it's supposed to be the fiscal of 2022. So, and then WWE 2K22 is fiscal 2022 as well. And then the Space Program 2 game is fiscal 2023. And this is 2K's releases for 2022, and I don't see the football game on there. So that's something that I think that should be taken into consideration, that maybe that it might be pushed back, and what that may mean for Madden moving forward. What do you guys think that'll do for Madden?
Nada.
You don't think it's going to do anything?
No. What, because 2K needs to prove that they are up to par or just as good as what EA's doing. Now, I remember back when the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 came out, NBA Live was going to make its return. And I don't know about you guys, but I was an NBA Live guy before I was a 2K.
Oh, I was too.
Yeah, me
Heavy.
And then I got that game. I got NBA Live after that 3-4 year hiatus, and it's the worst sports game I've ever played. It's the worst sports game I have ever played.
Stink like Dookie.
I was
Stink
out
like Dookie
on NBA Live forever. So, and we're expecting better from a game developer who hasn't made a football game in going on 16 years. I'm just skeptical. That's all I am. It could be great. It could be the next big thing. It could actually give Madden a run for its money. I'm skeptical, though. I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket.
I mean, that sounds fair, but what did they do before they came out? The first game. I mean, let's be real. If you want to look at their track record, what did they do before the first game dropped? So, I mean, I don't know about putting any eggs in any baskets. I'm just saying, like, they have an opportunity to change the landscape like they did the first time. I don't think that opportunity is wasted on them. We don't know the details behind it, but I'm just saying that the time that has elapsed, it doesn't mean anything because when they came out with the game the first time, nobody had expectations, and people are still talking about how much they love
Problem
it.
problem is now there will be expectations, and first impressions are forever. Like
Okay.
first impression on the NBA Live comeback, out. I was out. Like they could have made some great NBA Live games. That's too bad. That's cool. I'm never paying. I will not pay for NBA Live ever again after what happened with that. So like
That shot
that's where
meter was
I'm coming
trash.
from.
That shot meter was terrible.
First impressions are everything when it comes to like video games or something like this. If you make a bad first impression, you're gonna lose. I want to say at least half the people forever.
Yeah.
The NBA Live ain't been doing so well since.
You only get one shot, like Eminem said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree to an extent. I think that a lot of people, because there's people to this day that still play. They'll just update the rosters. They still play, NFL 2K5.
definitely.
And granted, for that particular time, it pooped on Madden. At that particular time, it pooped on them.
Yeah.
And that was the primary
totally
reason
agree.
that they went on. I mean,
Exclusive,
they changed the game of football at that time. And what did EA do? They bought the wallet out. You know what I mean? And money talks. You know what I mean? So then, boom! Now they can't make a football game anymore. Of course, and it wasn't. And I think this is a little bit different because it's almost like 2K. When you look at a basketball game, they gave EA every option. They say, you know what? Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and bring NBA Live out. And it went to bed because everybody knows what 2K is all about. You know what I'm saying? So now, granted, right now, even if they wait a year, everybody is so upset a lot of times with what Madden does. They got a shot when that game comes out to beat Madden. The Madden needs competition. It needs it. That's why Madden's not going to get, better and better and better. Madden needs competition.
I'm
Definitely.
also in that camp. Like, yeah, competition might make you better. That's not always the case. Like, for EA to say we got to step our game up, 2K needs to come and hit the ground running with a good game.
Indeed.
Because if their game is just as ass, we're gonna still stick with EA because they're the devil we know.
Yeah,
2K is the devil we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, it's also a little bit deeper than that too because you're talking about what is it that makes EA and Madden the game that it is, right? They got MUT, they got abilities. So
2K will have, you don't think 2K won't have something like that?
you know what? It's
They
possible
definitely
they
will.
But my point is that we're all coming from a different generation where we talk about user and we talk about play calling and skill sets and things of that nature. The younger generations, they're playing flag football. They don't care about all that nonsense. They just want to play a video game, right? They want to do all the spectacular things. They want to learn all those little cheat codes and whatnot. And they want, that's how they want to play. So football purists are going to lean towards 2K if 2K ends up being that. But the majority of the money that EA is going to make is going to be through MUT. It's going to be through the gimmicks. I mean, they know what their base wants. And their base wants the football version of Fortnite. That's what their base
He said
wants. That's what
version of Fortnite.
it's the football version of Fortnite, right? They want the dances. They want the I can't believe that play and move and celebrations. I mean, we've seen this evolution. So, 2K, if it's good, it's only going to appeal to the football purists that want to play football the right way. And I don't know how much of a draw that's going to be because real football is a hard game. You can't call $326. and
Oh, we got
stop
Carl
the
Allen
run.
in the
Two
building.
tight
Big
ends.
World TV in the building. Shout out to everybody tuned in, man. Appreciate y'all checking us out.
Well, go ahead, Philly.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like you can't do that. You can't call a dime formation and stop the run in real football.
Well,
And who
I just
wants to play that way?
I'm not well. Like that's the thing. Like apparently a lot of people do. Otherwise, like they keep selling games. They keep making money hand over fist. Another issue that 2K is gonna have is licensing. Like they ain't getting the NFL rosters. Like that's just not gonna happen.
No, actually, they will get the NFL rosters.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
They-
I don't
they-
think they can make. I don't
they
think
can-
they can make a sim football game.
No,
I
they can't.
really
They
don't
can't
think
make a.
they can.
They can't make a simulation game, but they can't have the rosters in the arcade.
So it's gonna be
type-
an arcade game.
Yeah, type,
so,
so
like, isn't that the thing? Isn't that the thing that the football purists hate about Madden? That it's way too arcadey. So they're making a game that's gonna be an arcade game.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
But it's like
Is
if you're gonna play an arcade game, wouldn't you just rather play an arcade game? You know what I mean? Like that
Well,
might
if
be
they-
the
if-
logic of
I
some
will
people.
say
Like
this. I will say
if
this.
Madden's
If
gonna
they
be arcade, I might as
lean
well just go play this because it's
2K
arcade.
decides, if 2K decides, hey, you know what? This is going to be an arcade game. We're going to make an arcade game. What EA does is we're going to make a sim football game, but we're also going to make a competitive game, and we're also going to make an arcade game. They're trying to appease three different crowds with one game, and when you try to make everybody happy, you make nobody happy. Like that's the thing they got going against them. They're trying to appease to the football guy, the guy who just wants to play a game, and the dude who just wants to have fun. Like it's just.
And I don't have a problem with that. Like my thing is that if you're gonna have a competitive scene, let that be a mode in itself. If you're gonna have an arcade type of scene, let that be a mode in itself. If you're gonna have something that you want to have for everybody, then make that be a mode in itself and push it as such. But the thing is that they're pushing the game as if it's for everybody and it's inclusive, when in reality, it's really not.
That's not how anything good in life is. Like with the football team, like only the good players get to play. Like that's how it is. Like what EA's trying to do is bring the kid who sucks and say, hey, go play quarterback. Or, hey, go play receiver. And all it does is take away from the better players. No, I'm not saying that as in, like, Madden terms, but, like they're trying to mesh everybody together, and that's where all the conflict comes from.
Yeah, because
Well, I don't know if it's conflict. I mean, I think it's just more a sign of the times. You know, we didn't have participation trophies when I was competing and growing up. And now you have participation trophies. You want things to be inclusive. You want everybody to feel involved. You want everybody to be a part of the experience, and you can't do that unless you take Brian James' approach, which to me has always been the most successful. When I talk about some of the other games that I play, like Gears of War, for example, right? You got PvP. They have that mode. If you don't want to play that mode, they have a campaign mode. If you don't want to play that mode, they got a player versus environment mode. So there's multiple modes that are for different people because you have more to choose from. The problem with Madden is that Madden is it's tailoring its game to the youth. Like I said, it is the Fortnite of football. Everything about it is about how you look and what you do and what you can do.
And the thing about it, I see people saying, I see Mob in the chat saying take the cheese out. And the thing about taking the cheese out is this. The cheese is predicated or dictated by who is calling it cheese. You get what I'm saying? So you can say, say for instance, I'm running stretch plays on you, and you can't stop stretch plays. That may be because you're gonna call it cheese. If I'm running crossing routes and you can't stop crossing routes, you're gonna call that cheese. Now the thing is that in reality, a player that knows how to stop those things may stop it. But with Madden,
they don't mind it at all.
They don't mind it at all. They'll figure out a way to stop it.
Like whenever I see somebody like go on Twitter or Facebook and complain about something like crossing routes or cheese, and I end up matching up with them, what do you think they're seeing?
Crossing routes
all game long. crossing routes.
So
like, if I know you can't stop it, why the hell would I?
yeah, and that's the
stop
thing
doing
is, it's one thing not being able to stop something that can be stopped, opposed to stopping something. Like, I think them adding these stupid abilities to the game has probably been the worst thing they've ever done. For the simple fact that some of these abilities can impact can really destroy really impact the game in a magnitude in which it really shouldn't. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there's nothing that in itself. There's nothing you can do about it. Somebody can put certain abilities on certain players, and there's nothing really you can do about it. And it has nothing to do with skill. It has nothing to do with skill at all.
You shouldn't need an ability to cover up for a major game flaw. Like, that's all I have to say. So one of the things, like with double team blocks,
Dimes
like,
in the building.
You need post up to consistently stop players from just shedding your double teams, or gunslinger thing.
Yeah.
Like, gunsling. If you don't got gunslinger, don't even think about passing past 20 yards if they aren't wide open. And then on defense, like with zone coverage this year, if you guys don't have like acrobat or mid zone knockout, they ain't knocking the ball out of the receiver's hands. Like, that's how it is. Those are really bad ways abilities can affect your game, is when they're trying to cover up major game flaws.
Definitely.
Fair enough.
And Dimes, you just jumped in, man. You the latest, well, seem to be the only Super Bowl champion outside of P-Guard in Xbox. He said Kirkpatrick all hail King Dimes.
Yes, sir.
So, but no, like a lot of players have tried to defeat you on various platforms and things. You find various ways to win. What do you feel that is the reason for that on your end?
Well, I've been listening to what y'all are saying, and here's the thing: like, if you go to the 2K community, they hate the game.
Yeah.
If you go to the MLB community, they hate the game.
Right.
If you go to the fan community, they hate the game. Now, we're kind of, some of us are older. I'm up there with Philly Guy and Snipes. We the OGs. We 35 plus. And we grew up in a time period where you didn't have YouTube, you weren't streaming, you didn't know all this stuff. You found it out on your own. Somebody might show up to a tournament and have something that nobody knows about. Those days are over.
Yeah.
And so every video game from here on out, no one's ever going to be excited about. Ever. Period. It can't happen. Because the moment someone finds something, they stream it and everybody does it.
Everybody does it. Everybody.
Well, there's that one thing with J-Wall when he had and if they do, like, it's a thing, and if nobody knows about it, it's probably a glitch that nobody ever tries to find.
Yeah.
Like the thing with J-Wall with the man swapping, like earlier in this year, nobody knew about that until he showed it against a rival. Like, that's
even like with me with the RPO glitch. Like, I was probably the first person to find the RPO glitch, and I try to hide it as long as possible. But you get in big money games, people see it, then everybody, when somebody motions somebody over, they flip the play, you know what it is. And Brian, I mean, you and I had some battles.
Yeah.
I know early on you're like, man, what in the world did he just do?
No, yeah, I called you a cheater a lot of times. I said you're a cheater, but it was like eventually I realized what you were doing. I caught on to it and was able to adjust. But the thing is, when you first see it, that's the first thing that come out your mouth. You're gonna throw the controller and say, "Oh, he's ripping me off again." You know what I mean? But that's the human nature.
Always a gimmick.
So that's the thing. So for like here on out, nobody's ever gonna be satisfied. You're never going to have a great approval rating because these are computer games. There are glitches, and EA doesn't want to put out a great game on day one.
Yeah,
they want
that's
to kind
the
of
worst
build
part.
it up. They want to say, well, we're putting out a patch and prolong it. Your interest stays longer, and they try to build it up to keep you in there longer to spend more money on mud. So every community hates the game. Like, it's Madden is nothing. Like, it's not just Madden. It's every community.
Definitely. All right, so with that being said, you being one of the few players in the league that actually played on the big stage, making it to the TV screen and doing all that, what do you feel like players should add to the lab sessions and the preparation of playing Madden that you feel like a lot of players don't necessarily do?
See, like that was the crazy thing. When I made it to the live event, I was I was nowhere near like I am now with the Toxic Boy crew, talking with someone daily, talking with a group of guys daily, breaking the game down. I was kind of green, so to speak. I had a great draft. I ran through some goons. I beat Drini, K Mac, all those guys, and kind of got hot at the right time. And it could have been the vegan diet, but we'll figure that out later on. But here's the thing. So I'm out there and I'm in the players' lounge, and it's that little Snickers place, and I'm sitting there with all these guys. You got Kiv, Wesley, Ghost, Crush, Clef, all these guys, and they're sitting there watching it. And someone would pick a play. Everybody's watching the screen. Someone would pick a play, and Crush would be like, "What's he doing running this?" He would call out the play and tell you it has no chance of working. I kind of look at him. Then I watch the play, and it's exactly what he said. So, like, someone would pick a play, the linebacker would move a certain way, and he knew what play it was. And I'm sitting there looking at these guys, and I'm like, these guys are real life computers.
No, yeah, yeah.
Like, they literally, you pick a play, and they know what play it is. Of course, they don't know your hot routes, they don't know your adjustments, but they know the base play. And so, like, I was sitting there laughing because Noah kind of came out of nowhere, and Clef is sitting right here, and Kib looks at everybody. He's like, Clef has no chance of winning. And he says it right in front of Clef. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, he knew the roster. He knew what Noah had. And he was like, nobody's going to beat him because he has Chris Johnson. And that's when he was doing the eye tight, where he would motion the receiver over, flip it, and your whole defense would shift. And so he had that glitch before they patched it. He had Chris Johnson. And Kib is sitting there like, and he really, I mean, Kib is kind of an arrogant guy. Like, I have no problem with him. But he comes off kind of like that. But he was just being honest, like, Clef has no chance of beating him. Then, you know, Noah goes on and wins the belt. So these guys know the game. Like, some of us are more casual with our approach. These guys literally know the ins and outs. So if you are going to compete at that level, you literally just have to put in, like, just major time with reps without distractions. And just, you got to know the game in and out. So, I mean, even like just being out there is kind of impacted me because I used to be a guy where I picked a play. I'm old school. Philly and West know you pick a play, you run it, and the better man makes the play. Whereas these guys know all the computer stuff that goes into it. They know all the glitches. And so, like if you see in my last Super Bowl run in Xbox, and you see the whole year I never ran deflators, but then I knew my next two opponents, I knew they were running the spread. They want to get the quarterback going and running back going. I put 3 deflators on the field. And so you guys are looking at Blaze like, what are you doing? But you couldn't see Blaze's screen. His players are red because the deflators are fatiguing his whole team out. So he's having to sub in running backs. When he broke that long run with a running back, his running back's 95, 96 speed. And my corner, who's 93 speed, caught him. It's because he was tired because the deflator hit him. So just knowing all these different parts of the game go into it. So the days of, I pop the game in, I load up, and I'm better than you are over. You got to know the glitches, you got to know the ins and outs. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of more about who's more nerdy. Who's the nerdier player wins a lot of the time now.
So you would say that the skill gap isn't there. The skill gap is more turned into a knowledge gap, is what you're trying to say.
Oh yeah. It's about knowing. It's like with mid zone. Well, you know, B guard, earlier on in the year, we were in the chat and we were like, hold on. Problem Child jumps into our Discord and he's like, have you guys seen bench press? And we're like, no, we added it to our team, and we're one of the first people who's out there running bench press. Even like the disengage. Early in the year, in August, we were running a 4-6 speed package, go down to 4-6 bear under, and we're running disengage. And you send in 3 people, and you put the 1 DN on a spy, and it literally just hit the line and broke through. And so that's not skill. That's no skill at all. Yeah. That's just knowing what the game does and understanding. Even like mid-zone KO lights up anywhere on the field, or inside dead eye works on any pass. And so knowing these things now is the difference.
Well, here's what I'll say to that, because there's been a shift. Okay, you know, you talked about being around for a while. I'm not going to deny it, and I will say this: in the past, glitches were written into the rules. Those things were banned. Those things were unaccepted. It was like, wait, this is what's happening? Oh, hell no. Like, most people that know their Madden history understand and know where the term flip glitch came from, where nano came from, rocket catching came from. And so at the time, the community would make a conservative effort to ban these things. You're not seeing that nowadays. And that's a shift, because those things were frowned upon. They were looked at as, okay, the game won't allow you to do anything about this, so we're going to step in and we're going to nip it in the bud. And you don't have that now. So now that you have anything goes, you have players that don't want to play like that anymore.
Yeah.
Right? They call it cheesy. Yeah. It's goofy. They're tired of that. They've done it enough. They're tired of it.
And
then you have other players that are new to it.
And the thing about that too, Philly, is that like the players that actually like look for real football and simulation play or whatever and things like that, they'll call it goofy, but they don't even know what's happening to them. They just know something ain't right. They don't know why it's happening to them. They like, yo, I don't know what you're doing to me and how it's happening, but it's not right. Like, they know it's not right, but they can't tell you exactly what's happening to them and why it's happening to them, but they just know it's not right. So they'll call it cheesy and things like that. But back in like I said, like you were saying, Philly, back in the day when MWS was throwing tournaments, the Swami was around and things like that. If it was something that was, if it was some kind of exploit in the game that couldn't be addressed, and back then they didn't have patches, so you had that joint all year long. It wasn't no patch. It wasn't no patch for that. No patch to save you. So it had to be addressed. So you had to make rules for those particular things. Now people are sitting around and say, oh well, we heard EA is putting out a patch in 2 weeks, and then you be like, oh, we'll just wait 2 weeks for that patch to come out. But yeah, it's like, but the thing about it is, if somebody is not putting it out publicly or airing it out on stream where somebody can say, hey, you saw what he just did, and then they run and tell somebody, one of the devs at EA. If somebody was actually secretive and keeping some of these things to themselves and just popping up at live events with it, then that'd be, they could go very far in the tournament, because everybody is we're in a day and time where everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants to show you what they got and things like that. When in reality, if you actually kept what you have to yourself and just showed up, you could be rocking and killing these tournaments on a yearly basis.
You want to know one of the biggest differences, like now, as opposed to now and back then? See, what Philly is referencing is in person, and you're in these tournaments in person. Like if J Wall does the man route swap glitch in person, at the tournaments in ATL Gamer Society, he might not leave the building.
No, he may not.
But when you're online, nobody's checking you because you're online.
Yeah.
So the difference between being in person, what would people say to you online as opposed to in person? It's
Philly
a totally different world.
Philly know.
So you'll glitch.
Yeah, I mean, look, before you get into that story, I mean, we just got to correct Doms right now.
Philly know about cheating at a live event.
The real term is called the flip glitch. And yeah, your boy was the one that did it and found it. And there's some controversy about how the West Coast felt about that. But I have so many emails in my Yahoo account that I don't use anymore from talking to Swami, who called me after I came clean about it at the tournament and was like, we're going to have to ban this.
You had no choice.
Going back and forth about
you had no choice,
why
Philly.
you can't, and you shouldn't do it. Now, those are the things that you're right. If you're in person, and Brian, you noticed the last time we went to Vegas.
Hey.
Cats see suspicious AI behavior.
They gonna ask you. They gonna pause the game. And they gonna look at you and say, "Hey, brother, say what was that?" And you gonna have to explain to him what just happened.
What that was.
What that was. Like, what was that? And then and they gonna sit down and you gonna be hesitant about running it again. That's your whole game plan. You gonna lose. Like, man, I could have beat him, but couldn't run my game. But like I said, Philly knows firsthand because he came to LA when he was from Philly. He came to LA and he came with the East Coast flip glitches and whatever they was doing on the East Coast.
No, I did that. I wasn't doing it. That was all.
You came with your East Coast magician work and was cheating at a live event, and he was playing my brother. My brother said, "What is that you doing to me, brother?" And you said, "You cheating." He said, "You cheating." He stood up. He caught everybody over, and it was about 20 dudes waiting for Philly in the parking lot. Yeah. And you know, that's the difference between live events now and live events back then. Now live events are totally different, but Yeah, that's Dimes is actually correct about that. You're in the comfort of your home, just cheating people, and it's okay. But if you live events wise, it's totally different.
Thug.
Yeah, internet. It's basically internet thugging.
Thug right there, basically. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, he's absolutely right. That's a huge difference now. Like you playing in the comfort of your home and versus playing live. So
the demographic has changed
too. Yeah.
Like the culture is totally different. We grew up in the era of baggy jeans, do rags, just in your face. That
real hip hop,
capping,
real hip hop,
real hip hop.
Yeah.
And now, like if you look at TNC crew, like
Tight
if they
jeans.
show up at a party, nobody's scared. I mean, D Craw's what 6'4", 6'5", but nobody's scared of these guys. Whereas back in the day, you may lose a game just because you think somebody might steal on you.
Yeah.
Like you might lose because you thought, like, dude keeps getting close and he might hit me.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna ease up because I don't want to fight today. But like now, like that is not there, man. You
know what, Dobbs? You speaking on that experience alone, because I'm gonna speak for Wes and I'm gonna speak for B James. We was crewed up. We was crewed up.
I was 30. We was 30, 40 deep at every tournament. 30, 40 deep at every tournament.
Brian just cracked double digits, and I'm gonna tell you right now, B-Guard could not go to the tournaments solo. He had to be crewed up.
Yeah.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
No, really,
No,
B-Guard.
no,
You
they talk
because it was a time where there was a time where you would win a tournament and not be the winner of the tournament.
Yeah.
Like you could win the tournament, but the cash was going home with somebody else because it was just that's just how it was, because it's like you had to have a crew, and like I said, we was
grimy.
It was grimy, man.
Yeah, you definitely had to make it a point. You had to go to a tournament. You could be the worst person in the tournament. You better roll there with at least 6 of your biggest dudes with you, and they don't even got to play the game. They ain't got to be in the tournament or nothing.
Nah.
They need to roll with you. You need to go with a crew. Feed them, do something, but bring them with you.
Yeah.
Just in case, because if you are the nicest and you end up winning, you got to watch yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes your own crew will rob you. You know what I'm saying?
Gangs of Madden.
You better make sure what happens. The winner, we accrue, right? So we breaking bread with each other, because if that bread ain't distributed correctly, it may be you might be the man out. You know what I mean? But it was a different day and time. It was a great time. It was quite ignorant back then. I see Thomas Mallory in there with the LVBC back in the day, and it was BABC, LABC, BABC, we had the NPO, everybody. It was definitely a different time. You know what I'm saying?
The feeling is gonna be totally different. I mean, I've been on the game and I've thrown a touchdown pass or I've gotten a first down and I say, wow, I just won $5,000. So that is a crazy feeling. But man, sitting there thinking like I can win this game and win $500, but then you have like A, B, and C. Like I might get robbed. You know what I mean? Like somebody's probably waiting on me in the parking lot.
You know?
I have to go out the back door and act like I'm going to the bathroom. And you get all this in on a game of Madden. You can't beat that, man.
Nah,
when we were young, you get older and you're like, I don't have time for that.
It was
exactly.
When you're young, you're like, that's kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah, it was crazy back then, man. Different day and time.
The best.
You know, Sandman. They had Sandman going to Vegas, running. Man, it used to be a great time back then. But yeah, man.
There you go. Yeah, leave it at that.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
So we got Dines in the building. I got some more questions for Dines, man.
Yes, sir.
When you went to the Super Bowl again, right? And you had to face your own playbook twice. What was that like? Was there anything that was run in a way that you were say, hey, you know what? That was quite impressive. I may want to add that to my repertoire. Was it like, well, I've seen it all before. There's nothing pretty much you're gonna do to wow me. You know what I mean? Was it anything that they either Blaze or MP bring something to the table with the playbook that you run that you saw like, okay, well, maybe I can add this to my repertoire, or is it something that you were like, oh, well, that was Dimes 2.0, Dimes is 10.0 right now, like, you know.
Are we finally off the back in my day part of the podcast?
Oh yeah, we had, old guys got to do that in my time.
You gotta reminisce. No, so like as far as Blaze runs Blaze's spread is closer to mine. Like when Blaze runs it looks and it feels more like mine. Whereas MP runs a 4 wide receiver spread. So it's different. However, the concepts are the same. Now I'm not gonna break it down because I'm not gonna give y'all that advantage of knowing what to do versus spread playbook.
Of course not.
If you watched it, you might have picked up on some stuff. You can see where I was streaming my game. I would hit the B right back. I'd make a couple adjustments, do a little something here or there. I didn't want to show too much because there are ways that you can give the spread playbook fits. Like I know the top 3 things that I want
We
to
still
implement.
lose.
I know the top 3 things like I want to implement. And that's what I wanted to take away with Blaze and take away with MP. Because like MP's quarterback was what, 95 speed?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
But his running back, Josh Jacobs, was 90 speed. So I wanted to put the option on the quarterback to make him hand it off, get the ball out of his hands. Whereas when I'm playing, and the same with Blaze, where he had Lamar Jackson. But last year, I think MP had Dak back then.
Yeah.
And Dak was like 84 speed. So I put the option to the running back, take away the running back because I want Dak to have the ball. So little things like that coming into it. I wanted to take away what they want to do best. And, you get familiar. I'm familiar with the spread. So playing them was kind of, and I've given them some pointers. They've given me some pointers. So our games are kind of like, you don't want to run what you typically run because you know the other guy knows what you're doing. But hats off to both of those guys. And I mean, the spread playbook reigns supreme over the past 2 years of the Xbox Madden Underground franchise.
Okay. And anything you had to say about that, B-Guard? Because you were the only person ever defeated this year on the big stage.
No.
Oh,
He
wait.
did not defeat the spread playbook. He defeated the Carolina Panthers playbook.
Oh, okay.
I do want to make that clear. Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't defeat the spread playbook.
I'm glad I'm playing playbooks. Like, I guess that's something we just gotta acknowledge. Yeah, I beat the Carolina Panthers playbook. That's really what I beat. I didn't beat VA Dime.
You didn't beat Dimes. You beat the playbook.
Carolina Panthers playbook.
You could never beat Dimes.
That's what we're going with. That's what we're going with.
Because the spread playbook in the last 9 Super Bowls, the spread playbook has appeared. It has won all 9.
Congratulations to the spread playbook. I'm sure you're gonna be sending all your winnings to spread playbook PO box and that's just what it's gonna be. I guess it's the spread playbook. With no spread playbook, there is no VA Dimes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, actually, the spread playbook is actually under my title and my LLC. So that's how we
Your
LLC.
So he actually has the rights to the.
So
Yeah.
Wait.
So his money.
So does that mean?
boys are fighting.
So does that mean that you're collecting royalties from MP and Blaze?
Yeah, I mean, all I collect is just loyalty. If you pay me in loyalty, be loyal to me. If you see something glitchy, just holler at your boy. And they show me some glitchy stuff. I show them some glitchy
that's why
stuff.
they lose, and that's why they.
He said that's why they lose.
We got 2 Super Bowls. Who at the beginning of the year, in a conference of B-Guard, Woody, C-Jack, thought MP would make 2 Super Bowls?
MP did.
And if Blaze doesn't play Dimes, Blaze is in some Super Bowls.
But he had to play
Yeah, but
Dimes.
how many people get in a Super Bowl if I'm not in their conference?
Well, he made it to 2 Super Bowls, so yeah, you
That's
were
what
in the
I'm saying.
conference.
And
But he
nobody's
never
expecting him.
beat me. That's the thing.
MP beat you. MP beat you 1 year. I remember that.
Regular season, not in the playoffs.
He beat him before the playoffs. He got hot.
Okay.
He got hot at that time. Beat me.
I think he beat you to get into the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
No, because I had to beat Woody to get him into the playoffs.
Oh, okay. So I got you.
And I don't lay down for nobody.
They said so. The question in the chat is, when are you retiring, Dimes? That's the real question.
Well, I put on Twitter the other day, like I got another $400 cash app about to hit from another league, and I put on Twitter. I said when they stop paying me to play the game, I'll stop playing. I'm excited about the day where I wake up, I don't laugh, I don't work. I'm that 45-year-old guy that's going to give you just a tough game. I might lose by 3 or 4, but I'm going to give you a tough game. I want to be that guy. I'm not going to run the play clock down to 1. And
Philly, that's a shot at Philly. Definitely a shot at Philly.
Bro, he
Definitely
been
a shot at Philly.
since he opened his mouth. When he started that little speech, he been shooting at me the whole time. I'm just like, I'm trying to be like B-Guard. I ain't got no shades on. I'm like, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, Big Dimes. Finish what you gonna say.
And so I'm excited once I can hit that point where I can just, play the spoiler. There's a lot of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Okay.
But once I get the first Super Bowl, then it's just like, man, let's take off.
Okay, so Dimes, so since you're here, and you get an opportunity to give you your score, you actually graded, you had a perfect score of 100%. You streamed, you were active, you made the trades to do what you needed to do. You communicated with all your opponents. You clearly showed skill. You made the playoffs every year. You got the X Factor grade because you won the majority of the Super Bowl.
Spread playbook.
Yes.
Spread playbook.
And
skill.
You
Spread
finished,
playbook,
and you
So
finished
the
off.
spread playbook got 100%.
Yeah.
The spread playbook got 100%.
So yeah, he got a perfect score. Dimes was one of two players to get a perfect score.
Playbook.
Spread game, baby. The spread game is a lot of big brain. It's a lot of big brain activity. A lot of people say bubblegum this, bubblegum. There's a lot of big brain stuff going on when that spread comes. But can we get one thing straight? Anybody who's ready to make trades, I'm just letting you know, Madden 22, my front office is ready now. We want to welcome you.
Hey, you better get ready to play with the Detroit Lions. We're gonna make sure you get the Detroit Lions.
You gonna give me Jared Goff? Don't do that with that O-line. No, but see, hold on a second.
That's a bluff if I ever heard one. He tried to make the Lions sound appealing.
He'll just trade for a quarterback
Yeah,
and
that's
he'll
true.
swindle somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's the thing. But see, then that's what I want to get to right there. You said I'm gonna swindle somebody.
Bless him.
Can we look at one of my first trades? I traded away Deshaun Watson.
No,
you traded for
Sweat.
Montez Sweat.
But
Let's not get it twisted.
And I picked up Dwayne Haskins. For anybody else, that can be that's not a great trade. Trade away Deshaun Watson.
No, I'm disappointed right now.
Give him a Euro team.
Because you didn't give credit where credit was due, and that's the Dorian McMickens. You're going to give a shout-out to the spread playbook. You'll give a shout-out to everybody else in the world, but you don't give a shout-out to Dorian McMickens. And Dorian McMickens is single-handedly responsible for your defense.
Do you remember the verb? The McMicken? Y'all said I got McMicken early on in the year because I had bad
Frankfurt Galaxy.
Cap penalty, all that. And y'all thought I did a bad job. Y'all thought he did a great job. But then what y'all didn't realize was, and as B-Guard has alluded to, the spread playbook came into play.
Yeah, I took the playbook.
I took Dwayne Haskins from a 70 to a 95 X Factor 5 ability.
And then parlayed that into a quarterback that fit your needs.
But then I traded him and got Chase Young. And then I picked up Tyree Jackson, who was a 70 overall. No, he was 80. And I took him to X Factor, 90 plus. So this is what you got to understand. I make trades that people aren't willing to make because I know how to fit into my system and build them. And I give you great players in return. McMicken picked up Deshaun Watson. The Tampa Bay Bucks, I think his name Ben Niles, he picked up Dwayne Haskins. X Factor. These are big-time players that I'm sending. And I just fit them into the system. So I want you to know.
I don't know if you're paying attention, Dimes. I don't know if you're paying attention to everybody's face on the stream right now. They're calling BS, bro. They're like, it sounds good. It sounds good. But I'm gonna tell you this. When you trade with Dimes, Dimes is basically Thanos, okay? And he's talking to you and he's giving you your options. It could go in. You're basically Doctor Strange or whatever. There's many different ways you could defeat Thanos, but in reality, you have an Infinity Stone that he needs, and it may not be something major that you value much, but to him, it's an Infinity Stone. So when you say
I don't disagree. I agree with that.
So once you make that trade, he says thank you, and he puts one on the little glove thing. And he goes on to make another trade. And then he puts another player onto that little glove thing. And then by the end of the season, he has all the Infinity Stones. And he's Thanos. And then boom, snapped his fingers. And he got all the Super Bowls. So, in my opinion, don't even talk to Dimes. If he inboxes you, block him. You know
But here's the thing that y'all don't understand is I'm going to get these trades done. Y'all not going to stop these trades.
We know.
These trades are going to get done.
You know what, Dom? You know what? First of all,
Now accepted. Challenge accepted.
Challenge
That's-
accepted.
We'll see, buddy.
That's just
We'll
wrong
see.
on so many levels because we know you're a man in the cloth and telling people they going to hell and what they need to do to be saved. Okay.
I
That's
offer
gonna work
salvation.
against you. Look, he
Look at
disappeared.
it disappeared.
Disappeared.
I offer salvation.
Did you see what I just did?
Yeah, you
see
did.
that?
And now the light, out of darkness into light. And that's what I try to let these guys know. My players will bring you in. The Bible says that he brought us out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Hey,
And I want these guys to know these players have championship DNA.
Sprint, it's up to you,
They've been
man.
around
It's
me.
up to you.
They've been around me. I'm the chaplain of the team. I'm the offensive coordinator of the team. And
Man.
there's some things that we impart. We don't coach. We impart.
Oh,
This
wow.
is a
Listen,
spiritual
li-
journey,
li-
and these
listen.
players are a part of it.
No, but listen here now. All the words that's coming out of his mouth right now, for anybody out there that is looking into getting into Madden Underground, that's what he's doing. See, that's what Don is doing right now.
He
It's
is
not
basically
he is feeding them what they need to hear.
Yeah.
He's feeding their spirit. A lot of us here already know. Y'all know my rule already. I don't trade with Super Bowl winners. I just don't.
That's smart.
That's my rule. But other people, they won't have a problem with that at all. You know what I
You
mean?
know,
we got Sprint in the chat
it's
saying Kobo
amazing.
and Sprint in the Super Bowl for the final season in PS4.
Uh-oh. Hey, look.
We know what Kobo.
Kobo.
We know what
I mean,
Kobo can do.
Kobo,
Kobo put
Kobo-
B-Guard out of commission.
These are PlayStation broke after playing Kobo.
I turned on the game and I thought something was wrong. I just didn't know, like, it was 21-0 in like within the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Kobo is tough, but he only beat Brian by 17. I saw.
Yeah. I chew clock. I play like Philly guy. You know, I wasn't going out
That's
like that.
smart. That's smart.
You got to
But
short.
players
You
Players
gotta
like,
shorten the game
players
against
like
good
that, you
players.
got to do that.
Players
Players
You
like
got
that,
to
you
shorten
gotta
the
do that.
game.
It's Sprint
Long
beating
game.
Assassin. I don't think it's gonna beat Assassin.
We'll see.
I think
We'll see.
I think Assassin gets Sprint.
We
I beat
shall
the
see.
Chiefs. He said his power went out.
Yeah. I'll talk to
Oh,
you about
yeah,
that
is
one.
that-
I'll talk
yeah,
to you.
his
I'll talk to you.
PlayStation-
I'll talk to you
PlayStation
about.
power went out.
I'll talk to you about
that's
that.
off the air conversation.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that one later. We'll talk to you about that one later.
See,
But yeah.
I don't like. Let me just say this. Like, look, I am a family man. Now, when I play my game, man, let me play the game. Let's keep the stats and let's keep it moving. There's nothing. I don't care about a sim. I hate a sim because I could have been spending time with the family. So it does make me mad when people do that. Man, just pause and at least concede.
Wait.
But like, bro, I could have been spending time with the fam.
Go ahead, Brian. Call it out.
Both Sway's in the chat talking about Don is not a man of the cloth. He denied my friend request after asking him take me under his wing.
How do you respond to that? How you respond to that?
Here's the thing. We got bills here at the Spread Church. And if you're not investing in paying those bills
Wow.
and keeping the lights on,
Wow.
we got clergy. We got bro, bro, we got clergy. This is a business, bro. This not just, man, it's not just about
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let's
This
step
is a
into the
business.
light.
Step-
Step into the light. For a
Oh
price
my
of
Dive
God.
sounds like a Madden Jim Jones right now. I'm just gonna say,
you
Yo,
come and drink this with me.
drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. Let me find out. TD
Don,
Snakes.
you need your own
They
show,
call him
bro.
TD Snakes.
you need your own show for real. You need your own show, bro.
Bro, don't say TD Snake.
TD Snakes.
Oh no.
There's a reason why he got dimes in his name.
Oh,
10. That's 10 cent rhymes with 10%. Make sure you pay your tithes. Nah, look, a lot of people saw the success in the leagues that the Toxic Boys had. A lot of people saw the success that we had on the MCS scene in the tournaments, popping up, beating big names, and so a lot of guys have hit us up. But you know, our crew, man, we're full, man. It would take something special for somebody to come in, but I'll let Bo Sway.
So
I don't remember
hold
getting
on. So let's just say Bo Sway, came into the Madden 22 league and he knocked you out. Not once, but maybe even twice. Is that special enough for him to be a part of the Toxic Boys?
I'm really having a hard time picturing that.
That's
Like this.
disrespectful.
I'm trying to get there with you because you said it. You presented it in an excellent way. It's just so hard for me to
Oh,
wrap my
man.
mind around that right now.
Damn. Wait,
I'm-
dude. What did Bosway do to deserve
That's what I'm
this?
trying to figure out. What did he do to you?
Bosway, hit me up. Hit up
Challenge,
the
Bosway.
vice president of the Toxic Boys. Hit me up. We'll talk.
No, you the B-Guard the co-president. No, Bosway is a tremendous person. But I,
Hey,
No,
what's
I
the
just don't-
personality now? I'm done.
nah, hey,
It's not you. It's me.
hey, he
You
popped
got
me
a great
twice.
personality. I love
Hey,
it.
if he pops me twice, man, look, obviously he don't need Toxic Boys. He need to holler at TNC, or he need to holler at the 818 crew. If
Yo, but
pops
he,
me twice-
but he might, but listen, but he might just want to be a toxic boy, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, give him
might
that
sit down.
opportunity. If he pop you twice, give him that opportunity.
Why is everybody in the
I do
chat
wanna
confessing their
expand, though.
sins? Like, take me from hell and wash me off. And like, what is this, bro?
Y'all
Saying
make
some
me
wild
sick.
stuff in the
Y'all-
chat right now.
This is why he wins. This is
He
why
has to
he
be
wins.
converted.
What's going on here?
Kool-Aid.
But
Y'all
no, I
drink the
think-
Kool-Aid. You don't
what I
want to
would like
beat
to
this
do-
dude. You want to be just like this dude. That's what you want. You don't want to beat him. You're like, please, Dimes, teach me how to play. And then when I beat you, you guys are like, oh, this dude's such a dick. Like, I hate B-Guard. Like, I'm never trading with him. Like,
That dude said I gotta find the exit. Like I've seen. I don't know what's going on in the chat right now, but it seems like they all holding hands and singing "Kumbaya" with candles lit.
they made a shrine in Dime's name.
On that
I'm
note,
sick.
we gonna change the subject and go to another topic. All right, with the Madden 22, being a couple months away. What are some of your goals going into Madden 22? I seen you on Twitter talking about the live events and the dreams and passions you have about that. But tell us some of your goals going into Madden 22.
I think one of my first goals is, of course, I'm a big Baltimore Ravens fan, and so with the club championship series, I gotta make it, man, as a Raven, and I gotta lock in. This year, I don't know, man. We had a lot of stuff going on personally, so during that time period, we had some family that was kind of going through some things, and it was weighing on me heavy. And I actually kind of talked to Brian. I was like, man, I'm kind of not even in it right now. It got some crazy stuff. So around that time period, I was just I've lost both games by 3 points, but my head wasn't in it. So I got to make a run in the club championship series. And in the Madden Classic, I want to get that. I hope we get some in-person tournaments. I want to get that one-on-one, lock in, let's get it, you versus me, nobody else, and getting those moments. Because I've always said, I don't care who I play, just put me on the game with anybody, and I'm going to fight. And so those two things are at the top of my list, but more so just developing as a passer. I feel like I've taken a big step this year. I was joking with B-Guard and Bubba and some of the guys in our Discord about me being the best passer in Toxic Boys, which I'm not yet. But I have, major steps of developing as a passer. And then what I'm going to do is take that and then merge it with kind of the trickery, the bubble gum of the spread. Because I still, even at the age of 36, God has blessed me with some stick skills. Because normally guys say that's one of the first things that leaves you. Your fingers start slowing down. But I still got some, open field moves. So I'm looking to merge that. So you got the Ravens Championship Series, the Madden Classic, and then developing as a passer. And, some YouTube stuff. Drop the spread playbook under the Madden Underground entity. And, man, make some things happen.
Okay.
And apply pressure, as always. I want to see the Giants fall.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, when you taking out Dreeny, definitely turned a lot of heads, and it brought. I'm sure you felt the heat that it brought too. When you take out a fan favorite like that, you get a lot of ridicule, hate that comes with that as well. So
And that's what's funny is you see like the chat of these MCS. These guys are like, man, these players suck. These guys, like, dude, you have no idea. B-Guard can allude to this. You have no idea what it takes to make a live event. Like, first off, you got to be really, really good. Like, I was super locked in. I was super clutch. and you have to be lucky. Like there are gonna be plays where you need luck or you're not gonna win. And these guys sit there and see these players have a bad game or something on a live event. They're like, these guys suck. Like, no, they don't.
Nah, you can't
Like,
make it that far.
if that's the case, like, it's the same people are making it,
You can't
but it's
luck.
like
Yeah,
people want to watch it.
you can't luck your way into a MCS title. You
No.
you can't like you don't fluke your way into that.
No.
Like, yeah, you're gonna need some luck down the way. Things got to go your way, but that's with anything. Like, even in real sports, like, you need luck to go your way.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like we can even take the Super Bowl for example. Like with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how lucky was it that both the tackles for the Chiefs were gone?
Yeah.
Like, that's a different game if Mahomes has some time. Like, it's not, they may not win, but like, it was so much easier for that defense to play when Mahomes had to run for his life. Like,
And they definitely
that's luck.
And even with him running for his life, every pass he threw hit receivers in their hands. That was crazy. But that was utterly disrespectful that he could still make those throws under that type of duress. But yeah, I definitely agree with Dimes. And Dimes had from the commentary to the chat and everybody, he went in there and was getting the job done in spite of. You know, and that takes us.
The first game got away from me versus Cliff, and I think I lost by like 17. 17
Yeah,
or
but
20.
you were close. You were in the game, and then
Your team was
and then
buns though,
that
bro. Your
wheel
team was
fell
booty.
off.
Your
My
team was
trash.
booty. They told me
When
who
I
you got. I was like,
drafted the team,
Tannehill? Who?
I drafted the team and just went back to the hotel and just sat quietly. Like, I didn't even talk to the kids, the wife. I just sat there and just kind of like
You were on the kids that night, bro.
I knew, man. The kids are already tired because of the time change. They were
Yeah.
wilding out. And I was just
Yeah.
like, man, I looked at the wife. I was like, baby, I can't do anything with this team. And, you know, she's being supportive, but I was like, it's over.
You don't want to hear it.
I knew it was over. But then, you know,
What-
I bounced back versus Henry and Rage. But really just being out there around them and just understanding what it took for other guys to get further than what I did. And that was being in the crew, being iron sharpened iron. I know we got getting our preach on, but being around people that help raise your level of competition. We grew up in a time period where we wanted to be the best player on the block. Like, who's the best player in the neighborhood? You know what I mean? You go to the birthday party, I want to be the guy that's got the sticks the whole time. And you wouldn't be around necessarily people that were better than you because you wanted to be the top dog. Whereas now, these crews, you want someone who's going to be better than you. Because the more you play them, next thing you know, you went from here and you jumped them. Then they jump you, and then you keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I've noticed. I mean, so just the experience as a whole has helped me win money this year. Just being out there has helped me win.
Okay. Yeah, man. So you out here doing the thing. You winning all the bowls. You winning the tournaments. You making it to live events and all that stuff. You told us your goals for Madden 22. You broke the news that you're gonna be dropping the ebook with Madden Underground, and that's a lot. That's a lot on your plate, man. How do you balance the family life with all of that?
But making money is definitely, it helps.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times guys are like, man, I wish my girl was cool with me playing. I wish my wife would let me play. But
You suck, though.
when you post in,
Bro, you
I
suck.
won $300 or I won $400, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
Or I'm
It
in
do.
Gamer Saloon, Players Lounge, and these withdrawals. Or we go on a family vacation in California because, the husband or daddy made the live event. So these things go a long way.
You said husband / daddy?
Hold on now. I mean, look.
I'll bring it
Nah,
home
I
to
ain't
bacon.
gonna joke. I ain't gonna make no jokes. Hold on. You gotta call me out my element. I'm Reverend Dimes right now. Hey, but, we married, though. We married, so you know what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that goes into it too, because when you putting it down, man, you get to do
wait.
your thing.
You talking about with
what
the
I
Madden?
mean?
We talking about Madden again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make
No,
sure.
I'm talking about everything. Once you do your thing, it kind of helps out everything. Everything's kind of smooth.
Yeah.
Selling from there.
Yeah.
But and the kids being younger helps. As they get older, my daughter, she does dance, she does ballet. My son just turned 4, so he's not playing sports yet. But we just got a basketball goal outside, and so we starting to shoot more. He's left-handed, so he's big time into baseball. And I feel myself drifting more towards that. And so to combat that, the time that I do play needs to be that much more focused instead of just kind of wasting time on the game. Like I never just waste time. If I'm on it, then I'm getting big time reps. I'm super locked in, and then when I'm off, I'm back to being daddy and being husband, and making that work, man. Because like
Definitely.
even like Friday night, I'm in the FNF again. Friday night, the Mudhead tournament for 1,000. So I'm gonna get 30 minutes here, 45 minutes, locking in on the scheme. But then too, a lot of mental reps. Mental reps are definitely helping me get away from the game and spend more time with them.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So I hope everybody tuned in that are in the league that didn't crack the 70 percentile on this here list that I'm holding. I hope you guys are taking notes and what it is that what it takes. You see the dedication. He said they want to know what's your Twitch, Dons. Where can they watch you?
It's twitch.tv/VA540 Dimes. Definitely check it out. We stream a lot. A lot of franchise, a lot of mud.
Is it free?
It's free, yes. But next year I will be doing more sub tips. So if anybody is interested in running Spread Playbook, I'll be dropping a lot of stuff on there. A lot of my stuff kind of made its way into different circles this year, and so we'll definitely be dropping that.
Definitely,
But it's
definitely.
definitely free to watch.
If you wanna go and replay some of the things that he did, you're gonna have to subscribe. That's what
Yeah,
I
you
think
gotta
a lot of people are asking. So yeah, definitely subscribe. It's definitely worth to subscribe if you have, because I know some of you guys have the free Prime subscription, so that might be worth the Prime subscription. Checking out
Yeah.
checking out the stream.
Anybody got questions? Anybody, if you go back and watch the games and you got questions, anybody can DM me. My Twitter is full of DMs. Guys running the spread, want to know tips. I don't mind giving the tips away.
Definitely, definitely. So hey, he's open. He's open to, I guess, to taking some guys under his wing, and other guys.
Both way, holla at me, bro.
Unless it's both way.
Bo.
Unless you're both
Toxic
way.
Bo. Toxic Bo, holla at me, bro.
So I will. This is probably going to conclude the stream because we're over the hour mark. But
We got Laker game to watch.
definitely.
Yeah,
trying to get to that Laker game.
that's my question.
That's what. Yeah.
Dom,
So
you a huge basketball fan.
Yes, sir.
Are you rolling with that golden boy from the Bay? Or you rolling with King James tonight?
Here's the thing. So I did a podcast last night. We were kind of talking about the game. On paper, and my pick has been the Lakers. But what I keep seeing is they talking about how bad Steph has played over the past 2 or 3 years versus the Lakers. His worst games, points per game, his worst shooting, his worst You don't do that to a once upon a time unanimous MVP.
yeah, disrespectful.
And one
Preach.
game and Curry can come at LeBron. It's not a series.
Preach,
It's not
Rev.
a best of 7 where the
Preach.
6'9", 260-pound point guard gets to, take over the series. It's one game. If
That's
you
it.
don't think the Warriors are Curry's about to come out blazing tonight. And up until this moment, I've been Laker. But I'm starting to kind of shift. I think the Warriors might get the upset because the Lakers cannot shoot. The Lakers can't shoot. And LeBron is already giving himself a way out. He said, well, I feel like I'm
my
injured the
ankle
rest of the year.
hurts.
Steph is the clear MVP, blah, blah. Uh-oh. And we know LeBron gets tight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Doms. I agree with you. I agree with you for the most part. I'm a Laker fan. Everybody knows I'm a hardcore Laker fan. Love my Lakers. I will say though, he can shoot.
Yeah.
And the Warriors can shoot. But the Lakers are A1 defensively. They're gonna have a hard time. If they are
Yeah, no, the
A1
Lakers
defensively, they're gonna have a hard time. Period.
The Lakers lean. You got Schroeder. Schroeder's going to be guarding Curry probably. And they're going to be throwing some different bodies at him, Caruso. But I got one of those feelings. And LeBron gets tight in a best of 7 series. So what's LeBron going to do in that win or go home? You know he's not trying to go to the free throw line. You know he's not trying to take those shots late in the game. What's going to happen There's a lot riding on this game. But I
Yeah.
think both teams make the playoffs. Both teams are gonna make the playoffs.
They both making it. They
Yeah.
both making it. They both making
Who
it.
they gonna get is the question.
All this talk,
Exactly.
all this talk just for the Utah Jazz to
Oh,
win
God.
the NBA championship. That's right.
Oh,
Donovan
no.
Mitchell and Rudy Gobert gonna take us to this promised land.
Who?
Screw LeBron. Screw Curry. It's our time now.
You sound high, but we're gonna segue out of this.
Go Knicks.
But you know who the loser? You know who the
That's
real
money.
losers are tonight?
That's money.
You know who's really gonna lose
Phoenix
this game
Suns.
between the Lakers and the Warriors?
Oh,
Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns are losing.
Phoenix
this.
Suns get the
They're
2 seed
losers
just to
tonight.
run into the Warrior, just to run into the Lakers. It's gonna be crazy.
yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I don't know. The chat has been tripping. I don't know what you did to the chat, Don. They're either with you or for you or against you, and they're all chiming in right now. They're going crazy in the chat. But definitely appreciate you dropping in, Don, giving us that insight, that winning pedigree insight that you have, and definitely blessing the chat, man. They definitely they had a ball in the chat today. They were extremely active. Appreciate that, and we got a lot more coming up, man. I hope we continue rocking with us. We got we're gonna be dropping. I'll be inboxing you guys your grades, and some of you guys, you guys may not like your grade, like I said earlier, but there will be an opportunity for you to improve this grade.
But by the way, if you don't like your grade, you are in total control of your
Definitely,
grade.
that is
Like
very,
it is not.
yeah. We
us
didn't
grading. It
do
is
this.
us.
This is all you're doing, So
Yeah, even if it was us, like you control your grade.
Yeah.
Like all you got to do is play your games.
Basically.
Show up, and like whether it's not your skill or not, like that's another story. But if you're not showing up to your games and you're not very active, that's on you.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So I thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next Wednesday. We may have Don's back again if he wins the PS4 Super Bowl. So we'll be back. You said we'll have you back because I think
Let's
Sprint
get
is
it.
already saying he's gonna win it.
Who?
Sprint.
Who's that?
I thought I heard he was a toxic boy, but I
No, hey, Sprint's got a chance.
so
Sprint's got a chance.
If Sprint can get past Assassin, who's been his little like bugaboo,
yeah,
like the little boogeyman to him. Like, hey, maybe he can.
maybe possible. But we're gonna find out. Make sure you guys keep it locked in this week. Turn those notifications on. Hit that like, follow, subscribe button, and we'll bring you guys all that action for the PS4 as well. The playoffs have kicked off over there. Dimes have already advanced to the divisional rounds. He was a wild card, and he advanced to the divisional round. I don't know who you'll be taking on, but we'll announce that later on.
Either Kobo or Bronco.
I think it's
Depends
gonna
on what happens if Jags beats the Dolphins. I think I'll play Kobo.
Okay. So we might get that Dimes Kobo matchup out the gate. So make sure you guys keep it locked. We'll have commentary for you and everything. So make sure you guys keep it locked. Hit that follow, like, subscribe button, and we'll see you guys soon. Take it easy. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast.
Go Jazz.
Oh God.
I can just imagine